What's going on, everybody, and welcome to J Sports Seattle. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Mariners this time. It's been a minute since I've talked about the Mariners because this offseason has been pretty dull, and spring training was nothing worth talking about. I mean, spring training, and the Mariners didn't even do that well in spring training, although the offense did show promise. So there is that. So we'll see how that translates into the regular season. But a lot of these pitchers that we were using we're just figuring out what's right, what's wrong, and there are a lot of people that are just not good. We've waived a couple people that have just had horrible outings in I'm talking about pitchers in spring training. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk about the Mariners and just preview the season. And we have the opening day happened today, is today I should say, and our game is less than an hour away as of the making of this video. So if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more. I'm about to say Seahawks. I'm so used to saying that. For more Mariners and Seattle sports content. And without further ado, let's get on with the video. Alrighty, so yeah, Mariners 2025 season is officially less than an hour away from beginning. My thoughts on how the Mariners will do. Well, it's all dependent on the offense, of course. The pitching will do well, but I just have no reason to believe that this team will be better than what they were last year. I mean, maybe we'll see, but for the past 4 years, this team has done nothing but be a 90-win, sub-90-win team. 90 win in 2022, but other than that, just a sub-90-win team. So, and that's with one of the best, if not the best, pitching rotations in the league. So I don't really know how to feel, although I won't lie. Every single opening day, I always have faith that this team will do something this year. So, and speaking upon that faith, come on, offense. I know you can do it. You just need to be average. With this pitching squad, average makes you a playoff contender. So as long as we can be average on our offense, and it seems like we are, I feel like we will be better on offense this year because there is no way we can be worse than what we were last year. It'd be diabolical if we were somehow worse than last year in terms of batting average and getting on base and scoring runs. That was bad. So we'll see what happens. But the hit lineup is out for today's game. It was probably, I think it was released like maybe half an hour to 45 minutes ago. Actually, no, I think it's been out for a while now since it's opening day. But we pretty much have the same people from last year, except a couple different people. Victor Robles. So instead of J.P. Crawford always getting the top of, or getting, batting leadoff, Victor Robles is now batting leadoff on opening day. And J.P. Crawford is now basically swapped with Victor Robles because I believe he was the ninth at one point. But he's now the ninth slot. And this is all due to Dan Wilson. See, under Scott Service, it seems like no matter how JP did, whether he did well or if he did horrible, for some reason, Scott Service was just married to the idea of putting JP Crawford as the leadoff when Victor Robles was clearly better. And even before then, he didn't want to put someone else as leadoff, not a Rosarena. Even though Rosarena is more of a power hitter. But, I mean, to be fair, we don't really have a lot of contact hitters on this team. Rayleigh, DH. Polanco maybe, but so I can see why they always start J.P. Crawford. But even with Victor Robles, sometimes J.P. would still be batting leadoff when Victor Robles clearly is a better contact hitter than J.P. Crawford. So I'm glad to see that happening, and I'm glad to see that Dan Wilson is not Scott Service. So that's really good to see. And Julio Rodriguez batting second, that's pretty normal. That's pretty much been where he's been at for his career so far, his young career in the MLB. So, that's fine because he knows where he needs to be. He knows what spot he's in, and that's really good. And for Raleigh, I like that. Third, if Julio, Julio's supposed to be that power guy, but if Julio gets on base and Victor Robles gets on base or strikes out or whatever, Cal Raleigh's up there, and he can, he can hit bombs. So there's that. And a Rosarena at fourth, I like that as well. Luke Rayleigh, I like that as DH. Polanco at third base. That is interesting to see. I wonder how he will do at first base, but we will see. And then I got to give a shout-out to this guy. I want to talk about him for a sec. Rowdy Tellez, man. This dude has showed up and shown out in spring training. And this dude definitely deserved a shot to be on the opening day roster, which he made it. And congratulations to him, and I hope he does well for us because he showed some promise in spring training, batting nearly 300, basically at 300, and had, I think, 3 homers or 6 homers? I don't remember how many, or 4 homers. I don't remember how many homers he had, but he got a few homers. But 286 or 298 is really, really good, and I'm happy to see that. And of course, like I said, and then another surprise, a pleasant surprise, is seeing Ryan Bliss on the opening day roster at second base. I like this. This is probably their plan the entire time in the offseason. We were going to move forward with Bliss. Bliss has a lot of upside, so I'm excited to see how he will do. And I believe he will do great as long as, he does his job, of course. I mean, that applies to any player. That's a pretty vague statement I said, I understand. But Ryan Bliss, he's still a young cat. He's a young player. So, he has a lot to learn. But if he can, bat for average this entire year, that'd be great for him. That'd be good for his career to start off in Seattle like that. So, and then JP, like I said, is batting 9th. So, there's nothing against JP. It's just last year he was battling with injuries, but when he was playing, he was not really doing well, batting 200, if not sub 200. He has inconsistent years. One year he'll bat 260, the next he'll bat 230, the next he'll bat 200. He's just inconsistent. So him being at the 9th slot, I think, is okay for now, and I do like that from Dan Wilson to put him there instead of lead off bat. So there is that. And then our starting pitcher today will be Logan Gilbert, who is coming off an All-Star year, and I hope and expect him to have another All-Star-like year and potentially maybe an All-MLB year. Let's see. The way he's built, he can potentially be a Cy Young candidate. So let's see how he does, and I hope he can be a Cy Young candidate this year because that would be great. With George Kirby on the IL, that's a little bit of a blow. So he will miss his first series against the A's, but and we'll probably miss the second series against Detroit. I think we played Detroit after. Yeah, we played Detroit. Yeah, so then we played Detroit. So there is that. So he'll miss both of those series and probably will miss the Giant series as well, but we'll see. But other than that, Taylor Dollard out. That is kind of massive because he actually isn't bad. He isn't bad of a relief pitcher. Troy Taylor, relief pitcher. I believe he came up from the minors. I think he does need more work, but he can be good. And then Dylan Moore, that's an oof. Him being out. He's a good utility guy. So, but overall, I like this lineup though. I do like this lineup. It has a mixture of pop and mixture of contact. So I do like the way that this is set up, and I feel like this offense needs to transition more from a boom or bust offense to a more contact offense. With the way that T-Mobile Park is built, and it being the least hitter-friendly ballpark in the league, you got to hit for contact. That's the best way to go about it if you're not going to be able to get homers. Even though we can hit homers. We were 12th in the league or 11th in the league last year in homers. So we can hit homers. But the reason why we would always be stalling on offense is because we just could not make contact with the ball. And that wasn't okay on offense. So let's see if having Kevin Seitzer, I believe his name is, from the he was previously the hitting coach with the Braves, who won a world. He was the hitting coach there in 2021 when they won the World Series. So he's bringing championship experience to this team in terms of hitting, and I feel like with his his hitting guide, we can do pretty well. Another thing that kind of sucks is what's his name? Brant Brown. Where did he go to? I think he went to Cleveland. No, he went to St. Louis. Brant Brown went to St. Louis and scored 5 runs in his first game. Where in the world was that when we needed it a lot of times last year? Brant Brown, come on, man. Maybe he just wasn't. Maybe his coaching style just wasn't a right fit for Seattle, and that's okay. Maybe he's just a better fit in St. Louis than in Seattle. It's one game though, so I can't really judge that, but we'll see. But I'm excited to see what we'll do under Kevin Seitzer's guidance at hitting coach. So, and then we have Edgar Martinez as the director of hitting strategy. So we will be relying on one of the best hitters of all time, expertise, which is really good. So we have a Super Bowl or not Super Bowl. We have a World Series winning hitting coach and an elite, one of the best hitters of all time, guiding this team on hitting. So I would expect this team to be much better than it was last year in terms of getting contact of the ball and just hitting the ball. I mean, we were barely above 220 for a team batting average. We got to get to like 240s, 250s. That would be a drastic improvement and would definitely help out this pitching squad. So we'll see what happens, but I mean, I'm actually pretty excited for opening day. I mean, obviously, either we lose and I'm pretty sad and thinking, oh my goodness, is this the same Mariners? Or we'll win and I'll be really, really happy and believe this team can actually do something this year. So I did say in my last video on the Mariners that I explained why that the Mariners won't go anywhere in 2025, and we still may not. But we'll see what happens. I mean, each year is a new year. I mean, the White Sox in 2004 went from missing the playoffs to winning the World Series. This is just how baseball works. It's just super random, and each year is different than the other. So we'll see what happens. And I'm kind of excited to see how this beginning of the season starts. We need to have a strong start of the season. The past couple of years, we have had pretty mediocre starts of the seasons, rough to mediocre starts of the seasons, and we have to start strong. That's how you can give yourself a cushion heading into the All-Star break. If you do go on a slide, you at least have wins built up from when you have it early in the season. Obviously, you want to continue to keep winning games, but you have to start. You have to push on the gas easily, or push on the gas at the start, and then from there on out, then it'll be easier to to control your own destiny, of course. So, cannot drop a lot of games to start out the season. We have to start with the gas, put a foot on the gas. So, good thing is Rangers started off on a bad note. They lost to the Red Sox. I was watching that game, actually. I bought MLB TV this year, so I'll be watching a lot of Mariners games and just games overall in MLB. Since I've been working in baseball the past year and some change, I've kind of grown a liking to baseball. So I've been watching a lot more of that. But unfortunately, I did see the Mets absolutely stink up the joint against the Astros. Although I got to give credit to Framber Valdez for pitching an absolute gem, so can't be mad at that at least. But we'll see what happens. I also have the D-backs to watch too, since I also root for them. So they're playing the Cubs, who just got swept in the Tokyo series. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, let me know the guys in the comments what you guys think how this season will go, and if we will win today or not. And that's all I have for this video. So if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Mariners and Seattle sports content. Thank you for stopping by. Enjoy the game. Hopefully get a W. Have a good night. And go Hawks, go Mariners, and go Kraken.